Oh, hi! Hey guys, Chef Chuck here with another Peck and Nosh video. Today I'm going to share a recipe. It's one of my favorites. It's going to be categorized in the Chef Chuck's favorites. A tangerine extra virgin olive oil cake. Tangerines we just pulled off the tree out in the back. Trick to this cake is to use really good extra virgin olive oil. Don't skimp on it, just get the good stuff. We're also going to add some macerated tangerine supremes or segments, and I'm going to show you guys how to do a not too sweet Italian meringue, right? Whipped egg whites, cooked sugar syrup. You continue whipping it, it gets thick and sexy and fluffy and shiny, kind of like me. We're going to pipe it on top and then we're going to light it on fire. Okay, so let's get poppin'. Let's get Jiffy poppin'. I normally bake this cake in a large format, like a 10-inch round, which is fine. But today I decided to do little loaves, right? These are about a 4-inch by, I don't know, 2.5-inch little loaf pans. So these are gonna really mound up on the top and they're gonna look absolutely luscious, and it makes it even more convenient to pick it up and eat it. Okay guys, first step in this recipe is we're gonna brush a little oil in the pans and we're gonna dust them with a little flour. I only filled 4 because I have 8 little compartments here. So yeah, so that will carry over and coat the inside of these. Woohoo! Baking is my therapy, but along with professional therapy. So once we do that, tap in some of the flour. I'm having a sheet pan here to catch the excess, right? So just tap them around. Tap out the excess, and there you go. Very simple. All right, guys, so I've got my dry ingredients over here. I've got AP flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, some kosher salts. I've got 3 tangerines. I have 3 eggs in here. Oops, I broke yolk. I've got milk, and then I've got extra virgin olive oil. First thing I'm gonna do is zest the tangerines. All right. Very simple mixture here, right? So I got our flour, like I said. I'm gonna add sugar, baking soda, salt, baking powder, put all that together and then whisk it. And what this does, just breaks everything up, distributes it evenly, gets rid of the lumps. And because you're mixing the flour with the sugar, it's gonna make it easier to mix into the wet ingredients, which we're going to right now. So, eggs and zest, milk. Super simple, super quick. You guys can use a mixer if you prefer. I just need to get some exercise. Now the olive oil. So we're doing this by hand. If you want to use a mixer, you can. But yeah, you don't have to. Become one with your ingredients. So yeah. Just mix a little bit, get it going. It might help if I put a damp towel under this bowl. Or, ooh, Santa's here. Go around, make sure you don't have any dry leftovers in the bowl, right? So now we're going to fill these up. So I got a cup measure here. So you want to fill these up about 3/4 of the way, because they're really going to expand and get really big and bulby and gorgeous on the top. Okay. 350-degree oven. I am unmolding these. So I know I said that these will come out really well, but sometimes they do come out really well, but you got to give them a little nudge in the right direction. So just take like an offset spatula or a little paring knife and just carefully go around the edges. And when you go to take it out, put the knife on one side and I'm pulling the knife towards me and pulling up, right? It doesn't damage the cake. It comes out nice and clean, as you can see, right? Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys how to make the meringue. And it doesn't mean a gay meringue, it means just what it sounds like. So I got a heavy bottom pot, I got my hot water. I hate cooking with corn syrup, but I'm going to use about a tablespoon of it because it's an inverted sugar and it prevents sugar from caramelizing. Sorry, from crystallizing. So yeah, the water's absorbing the sugar is absorbing the water. Cooking my sugar. Got my trusty thermometer. I think it would be a lot better if you had a candy thermometer, but this is the only thermometer I have at the moment. So I'm just going to use this one. So we got sugar. So our sugar's cooking. You can see it's clear. It's starting to bubble. So we let it do that until about 250 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. So I got my eggs. I'm going to break my eggs in here. I'm breaking them whole. You can separate them in whichever way you wish. I like to break all the eggs and then pull the yolks out. Of course, you don't want to break any of the yolks at this point. And definitely make sure your hands are clean. All right. While our sugar's cooking, I'm gonna start whipping the whites. All right. $11 more degrees. I really want this thing to not make any more sound. I'm gonna pull it off at 246 because that's the temp. We're ready to go. You want your egg whites to be whipped stiff, and then you're gonna stream your sugar in. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh. So keep your mixer on. Carefully stream in. Don't go too fast, don't go too slow. Just a nice steady stream. If you go too fast, you're going to get cooked egg white bits, and you don't want that. And if you go too slow, then you might just get little threads of cooked sugar. And you don't want that either. Avoid getting any of the syrup on the whisk before it gets into the whites, right? Because then it'll like spin it all over the bowl and it'll be a big mess. So at this point, turn it up. As you see, it's very hot. Let's let it come to a nice room temperature, and then we're ready to go. So while the meringue's working, I'm gonna do take some of the tangerine segments, and I'm gonna macerate them in a little bit of honey. Take a look at our meringue. You can see it's getting thick and glossy. Ooh, thick and glossy. So I want to peel these skins off. I want to keep the segments as much intact as I can. If you break a couple, it's fine. Make sure you use a nice sharp knife. Trim off the end. And then carefully peel off the skin. Looks pretty fantastic. can see how stiff that is. So I've got my little Supremes here. This is just for David and I right now. I'm gonna drizzle in a tiny bit of honey. I'm also gonna drop in a tad bit of balsamic syrup. This is an aged balsamic. Stir them around and just let them sit there and work their magic. I'm actually gonna take these other two pieces and squeeze some of the juice. Okay, then I'm gonna eat the other one. Fluffy, viscous, white cream. All right, guys. So now we got our little paper cornet noses. Take a little bit of the meringue. Start with a small amount first. Stick it inside. If you have plastic piping bags, those are great too, or silicone or fabric. I don't have any right now. So I have made paper cornets, which are very easy. Kind of a little tight. I'm gonna cut it a little bit on a bias. We could also do some little splots, little Hershey's Kisses, not even Hershey's, Valrhona Kisses. Right. We could do ho-hos or ding-dongs, whatever they are. We could do a little zigzag. Right. Yeah. You can also do like a big spiral kind of cupcake thing if you want, right? You could do two of those. Bonk. Bonk. So now the fun part. Just to lightly caramelize this meringue, give it a nice contrast. I always like to torch meringue just from one side because I think there's a nice contrast still visually with the dark and the light. That was cinnamon if you guys didn't see that. But if you want to torch all sides of it, you can do that, right? I like things on the darker side, personally, because I like that bitter, not carbon, but bitter flavor. May as well do that one that we just did too, huh? So even the one frosted on top looks quite nice. I hope that was as fun for you as it was for me. I've got my little segments over here, been macerating. I think that one's my favorite one. So just kind of find a couple places to set them on. If you have some candied tangerine zest or candied orange peel anywhere, you can also sprinkle some on top. That'd be okay, or not. I kind of originally had the idea to do this as like a plated presentation, but clearly I have changed my mind. So yeah, so that's it, guys. So as you can see, these are gorgeous little cakes, good enough for snacking for your fancy bougie friends. So if I went to a bougie party and saw these on the table, I would have to go over there and investigate. I don't need you and your bougie friends with your olive oil cakes. I hope you guys had a great time with this recipe because I enjoyed showing it to you. If you guys give them a try, leave us some photographs or comments in our comment section, all right? Click like, subscribe, turn on your notifications. Remember, Peck and Nosh will bring you the best of the best. Thanks, guys!